Hi darling, what's up? Today we're going to make roti. So in my bowl, I already have 2 cups of flour. I use the measuring cup, 2 cups. There you can see 2 cups. So in there, 2 cups of flour. And to that you add 2 spoons of baking powder. Yeah, you don't have to heap the spoon, just like this size. And you add that to the flour, 2 of those. Already did, so okay, so 2 spoons of baking powder, you mix that in, and salt is optional. um, I usually don't put salt, but I find myself doing it now. I just sprinkle a little bit in there and mix it up. So you mix that up and let the baking powder spread really good. I usually use my hand. The next step is water. So you can take the same measuring cup and you can get the water, or I just dip it under the tap. So um, you can use, it's better to use hot or warm water, depending on how much you can stand in your hand. So I usually use hot water because I'm used to it. If not, just use like warm water. So you just fill your cup and then you start to pour. While you pour in the water, you start mixing, and you're mixing, right? And you see it's already starting to lump up. And you mix and you mix. Get rid of the background noise. Okay, so there you go. Put some more. Now you add the water a little at a time. One thing you don't want to do is make this dough too soft. You see, it's nice and stiff here a bit. So then you rub it and you get rid of the ones from the side of the bowl. You're going to have some on the side of the bowl. So what you do, you take your hand and you squeeze. And you put it back. You squeeze. And you squeeze. See? You squeeze. You squeeze the dough. You squeeze the dough. You squeeze the dough. Now you get some dry flour. Right? And you put it on your hand. And you get rid of the flour that stick to your hand. And there you go. And then you start squeezing again. You see, you rub the back of your hand on the bowl and get all the flour off. And then you squeeze. You squeeze. You squeeze it together into a lump. And a lump, and you squeeze. Okay, so now you have that there. You take the back of your hand, your knuckles, and you beat it down like that. So you get some more dry flour. And you get rid of that. So now you press this together. So now you flip, you keep on flipping, and with your knuckles you press on there. Press. So you spread the dough like that, just gently. You don't have to put too much force. And then you flip it, and then you do the same thing on the other side. You press, you press, you press, and then you flip it, and then you do this on the other side. Now for the best result, you have to knead the flour like this for 5 to 7 minutes. So it's a bit of patience, but it's worth it. So what you don't do, which I have been doing for years, and my roti come out hard, you don't fold it. Don't fold the flour inwards and then roll it. No. Do not fold it and then roll it inwards like that. You keep pressing like this, flip, press, flip, and then you do this, like I said, for like 7 minutes. So I had paused the video, but 7 minutes has gone by since I've been doing this. Flip, press. Okay. It's better than noise. Okay, so what you want to do now is get a plate and put your dough just as it is there on the plate. And then you use your roti cloth and you cover it. Now when you cover it, you put it in the oven or the microwave, and it has to sit there for like 15 minutes so the baking powder can activate in the dough. Do not leave it out like this in the open, because then the top here, the crust is going to get hard with the wind. Right now the wind, the air is your enemy. So what you do, you want to cover it and put it in the oven or the microwave so it'll have time to rise. So after 15 minutes, the dough is nice and soft, just how you want it. So depending on the size of the roti you want, how thick the roti you want, you can make 3 loy or 2 loy with this, with 2 cups of flour. So I usually like my roti thick. So what you do, you break it in, I break it in half. So you put one piece like this in your hand, and then you start folding the top. See, I'm folding it, and while you're folding it, you pinch it. You pinch the top. See, you fold it and you pinch, and you kind of rotate it and you pinch. And you bring it, you pinch it. You fold it up, all the 4 corners, and you pinch it. So I'll do it like that, like a little faster, but this is what you should end up with when you finish. And all you do, you fold it and you pinch it. Now when it's nice and smooth and you have this, you kind of just press it down like that, and you press it down here, and the side is smooth, and then you put it like that upside down on the plate. Same thing here. You get your dough, and then you start folding it. Bring it up to the top, fold it, and pull. Fold it like that, see? You fold it and pull. Fold the 4 corners and pull, and when you pull it up, you squeeze. You squeeze, so it sticks together, the 4 corners sticks together. You squeeze. Right? Every time you fold it, you squeeze. You bring it up, and you see I'm using my thumb here, pulling it up, and I squeeze. Right? So you fold it and squeeze. This is the toughest part. And then you fold it and squeeze. You keep pulling up with your thumb, see? Put this side on your hand, and you pull with your thumb, see? You pull up with your thumb, and then you get this little peak here. But you spin while you're doing it, and you fold it and you squeeze. You fold it and you squeeze, and then you get this. Ta-da! Okay, so now the bottom part where you were squeezing, you just pat it down, like that. So remember, you pull with your thumb here. You brace it at the back, and you pull up with your thumb. Pull up with your thumb, and then you rotate while you're doing it. You rotate. See, I can let it go, but my thumb is holding it with my hand. And you rotate, and then you pat this down, and then you put it again on your plate upside down like that. Put the rough part on the bottom, and there you have 2 loi. You can make 3 if you want smaller roti with this one, but I make 2. So what you do, you take your roti cloth again, and you cover it again. You cover the loi and put it back in the oven or the microwave for another 15 minutes, because the loi now has to rise and make the flour nice and tasty. So now your loi, after 15 minutes, your loi is nice and big and round. So time to belay the roti and cook the roti. So just gonna do one for now. So the bottom here is gonna be a little sticky. See, the top is nice and smooth. It's not dried out with the wind and stuff. So you sprinkle a little bit of dry flour, and you press down. Press down, and you make a circle. Then you flip, and then you take your fingers and you try and spread it out like that. And you spread it out like that. So then you start to roll. You should know how to do this one, because you have pictures showing you that I took with you doing this one. So then you roll and you flip. And you flip. Shut up, fridge. That's my fridge going crazy, okay? When you roll it like this and you flip it in the opposite direction like that. So you roll it out in a circle. Now, depending on how thick you want your roti, you roll it out to suit. If you want your roti thick, you keep it nice and small, or if you want it thin, you roll it out all the way out till it gets nice and thin. So that's about the size I want, because that's about the size my tawa is. Tawa is a little bigger, but then, so I start the heat on high, but once the tawa get hot, you go down to like 5. Okay, so once the tawa is hot, you put your roti, and I spread it out a bit with my hand, so you can spread out a little more, like that. And you give it like 20 seconds on one side, and then you flip it. See, it's already starting to get brown here, around here, and then you kind of do that, 20 seconds, you flip it. Now the reason I turned the heat down to like 5, you don't want to, if you leave it on high, you will cook the outside of the roti and the inside will still be raw. You don't want that to happen. Your outside is going to burn and the inside will still be raw. So it don't make sense. So you turn it down and you let it cook evenly. So Every 20 to 30 seconds, you flip it. You flip it until it's like cooked. You'll notice the outside will start getting brown and the inside would start cooking also. I would say it takes maybe 2 to 3 minutes to cook the roti. Like really cook it good. If the outside is not burning, you no need to hurry. Let it cook. Let it sit there and cook. Because the worst thing you want is to have a raw roti inside. See, now the outside is starting to get brown already, so it's cooking. And you flip it every 30 seconds, 20-30 seconds you flip it. And you can even spin it a bit so it gets evenly. So I paused the video, so 3 minutes have passed. A little over more than 3 minutes. So you take your roti on your roti cloth. Usually you will seke the roti on the tower if you have like an open flame, like a gas flame or a wooden stove, like you can seke the roti right there on the tower. But we do it in the microwave way. So come over to the microwave, put your roti in there on the roti cloth, and 44 seconds. Start. That's it. And I don't know if you can see it in there rising. See that? See that? See that? Ta-da! There's your roti. And done. Look at that. Now try not to touch the roti. Take it out by the cloth. And you get that there. And you cut your roti in 4 quarters. Okay. And you open it up. Like you can open it up while it's hot. Whew! Hot, 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 hot. Be careful. Right? You open it up like that. And the first dumbass. Yes, excuse the stupid alarm. Yep. So the first thing you do, you grab your butter, and you make nice little spread. And watch the butter melt on your hot roti. Like that. And well, you know, you can add your cheese too if you want, but yeah, that's it. There you have it. Sada roti at its best. Love you, darling. Bye.